my study sheet doesn't have anything and that you need to build it. Maybe you have another one at home, but for the cumulative over the long weekend, you need to build your study sheet. Okay? You need to really build your study sheet or else you'll be in trouble. We're buying a car privately, so it's a private sale. They have to tell you what the book value is, okay? Because when it's a private sale, people can just make up stuff. And so calculate the total after taxes. So you're buying a private, right? UP, that's probably the formula that you have. And so in this case, I'll pay the $19,500 for sure. Let's figure out the taxes. It's only one tax, PST. So I'm reviewing as I go along. Book value is smaller than the actual value, so I don't even use the book value here. And we multiply by 0.07. Next, there is a safety, so $65. We will add 5% taxes to the safety, and the Leon search goes behind like that. So this is how I'm going to mark this today. I will give you half a mark for having this 19,500, half a mark for adding 7% to your the actual value, half a mark for this, and half a mark for having the 50 without taxes in it. That being said, okay, if you make a major mistake, so let's say you go 16,000 in here, we normally take a whole mark off because it's a concept error. It's not just like you copied it wrong or something. You're taking the wrong number altogether. So that would be a -1, but I'm giving you half for each of these steps, so that's 2 marks. So then 19,500. This part right here is 1365. This is 6825 for the safety, and then of course we add the 50 on it. So that would be 20,983 and 25 cents. So that is a full mark for the work that follows your initial setup. This breed lives out of town, drives to work in Winnipeg on a daily basis. Explain why you should consider purchasing a new car as opposed to leasing a similar one. You would have to talk about limitations on restrictions on the distance you can drive. Okay, there's a limit when you lease. So when you lease, right? When you lease, there's a limit on the kilometers you can drive. You may he may have to pay mileage charge, right? Mileage fees, anything like that. When you lease, you would have to watch for it, right? Given that you're outside the city, you're driving in every day, it's probably not a good idea. Okay, so that's what I was kind of looking for there. Next, Kathy purchased an SUV. And this is the price after taxes, so that means it's already taxed, okay? If you have a number and after taxes, then you're done, right? No more taxes added after that. There's an $11,000 down payment. You should pay attention to this one because this is the one that a lot of you are struggling with. The bank offers a loan over 3 years at 3.25. Using the vehicle loan payment table, there's that table rate that we want. Either I give you a table or I have to give you that number per $1,000. So here's the formula. Please, if you have your study sheet, maybe have this one updated. For payment, always under loans, not leasing. I always go the price minus the down, right? I do this for sure. This is what we call the loan, okay? And then now I'm gonna run into trouble. The next is you pay a dollar amount per $1,000 of loan, okay? So please don't write the 2 down, okay? Just copy and copy. But it is always price minus a down payment if there is one to get your loan, and then that number gets multiplied by a dollar amount over 1,000. Go to your study sheet, go under loans, and check to see. I did it slightly differently, but I feel like some of you are getting it wrong because the formulas maybe are a bit confusing. But this one is the monthly payment, okay? Monthly payment for a loan. This is under loan, not leasing. Do not mix them up, okay? Calculate Kathy's monthly payment, so I will use this formula to help me out. It's 34,800 minus, there is a down payment. Mr. Dirksen, what happens if there is no down payment? Then there's just no down payment. Then you're borrowing the entire amount. Okay, so 11,000 times the 2919 over 1,000. This table rate only ever shows up on the monthly payment, nowhere else. Okay, so then you figure out when you subtract it, you get 23,800. And you multiply that by 2919 over 1,000. Okay, so you get $694.72. That is your monthly payment. So how are you getting 2 marks? If you did not take away the down payment, you lose a mark because that actually gets a mark. And then you multiplying by the table rate gives you another mark. So that's where the 2 marks come from. This is another formula I need you to update on your study sheet. Total interest. Don't just put TI down. Actually write, maybe I will do that too, because total interest. Total interest is your payment times 12 months times the number of years. Okay, that is the initial part, like that's how much you gave the bank, and you go minus the loan. And on your study sheet, I'm going to highlight loan here and loan there. So once you've determined what the loan is, okay, it's whatever you have when you take the down payment away from the price of the car. That is how much you're going to borrow. That is the number you would subtract after multiplying all these 3 things. So in this case, total interest. I don't care if you got the payment wrong in this case. If I see you using that here, 694.72 times 12, because there's 12 months in a year, and in this case it's 3 years, right? So this is how much you will pay the bank minus the loan, which I already determined is 23,800. That's how you get the 2 marks. So when you multiply this all, you get 25,009.92 cents minus 23,800, and that gives you 1,209.92 cents. If you're not subtracting by anything, you go minus 1 on this one. If I see you going payment times 12 times 3, you already get 1 mark. But in order to get the 2 marks, I need you to subtract the loan, because remember, you paid the bank 25 grand. They gave you 23,800. So the 1,200 is the interest they've paid you. How much interest will be paid on the first month? This is first month interest, not total interest. I call this lowercase I on my formulas. Okay? And what you do there is, guess what? The loan comes back. So you take whatever you determine to be the loan as, you go loan times interest rate divided by 100. We divide it by 100 because it's a percentage, right? And what happens after this? I divide by 12. This is another important formula. It's like these three are like a must under loans. It is a must, okay? Total interest, first month interest. So in this particular case, my loan is $23,800. If I divide my interest rate by 100, I get 0.0325. Do not round here. Use all decimals. Okay? And last but not least, I divide that by 12. So you should get 64.46. This is how much interest you're going to be paying on that first payment, which is $694. Like the first payment is $694. Every payment is $694, by the way. But on the very first one, they're going to take off $64.46. That's the bank's profit. The rest goes towards paying off your loan, which we call principal, right? If you take this minus that, that's the principal, okay? Other than shopping for a lower interest rate, what can Kathy do to lower the total interest paid? Do you remember this one? Put more down. Yes, put more down. Make additional payments. You can make shorten the term. Example, you go 2 years instead of 3 years. Your payment will go up, but shorten it. You can make lump sum payments. You can make additional payments. All of those, like whatever it takes to make it shorter will save you money. So one of them, you only need one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 3, that's 10 for this page. I'll give you this back tomorrow so you can like use this to study, right? Let's go back page. Change of plans. I'm going to stop right here.